What's a word you had mispronounced for a long time without realizing it? Melancholy. I used to pronounce it melancholy. Mischievous. Continuity. Epitome. Pronouncing it epidemy just sounds dumb and not correct to me. I would pronounce it epitome. Then I had a snarky coworker correct me in the middle of a meeting, and now I say it the correct way, even though when it leaves my lips it sounds wrong. Beaver. I used to pronounce about as a boat. That's not the awkward part. The awkward part is I had so much influence at the time that I unintentionally got a whole nation state to start doing it too. Kernel. GIF. Detritus. Who knew it had two T's? Plethora. I heard John Travolta use it in a line in a movie when I was a kid. I mispronounced it until college when my GF, who I was arguing with at the time, pointed out that I was an idiot. It's play the ra, not play thoy. Stupid. Not a word but a phrase. Play it by ear is how I thought the phrase went. Because it's like see which way the wind is blowing and acting accordingly. The actual phrase, play it by ear, is commonly used in many contexts which do not completely jibe with the original meaning of the phrase, meaning to play an instrument without sheet music. I've been intermittent fasting for years but used to say it was intermittent fasting. My friend asked me if I was on a death diet, and that's how I found out. Quinoa. Apparently it's quinoa, not quinoa. Archive. I still refuse to pronounce it correctly. Pronunciation. I would say pronounce-ation. Fanta. Pronounced as fawn tuh. Delphi. The programming language, and I used it for several years. I used to think the word Viscount was pronounced Viscount with the S being said. Archipelago. Maleficent. Still not entirely sure if I say it right. Also misogyny. Samoyed. I always pronounced pupil, and the correct way, but I thought pupil, a student, was pup, ill. Colonel. Bona fide. Lawyer. Pronounced lawyer. Still think it's weird that it's lawyer. Banal. Detritus. Never actually heard it spoken until recently. Always thought the I in the middle was short. Epitome. I had friends who used to say, a salami bacon, when we walked down a street called Salami Street. Years later I figure out it is an Arabic phrase which many of us know. Lol. This is a bit off from the post but a funny one for me. Plagiarism. Plagiarism. Busy boo sip. Chimera and macabre. Swedish rather than English. The word genre in Swedish is also genre. Now, using Swedish phonetics, the spelling would imply that it's pronounced genre. However, it's actually pronounced genre, which is totally unrelated to the spelling. I have no idea why this is. Quiwi, or quiu, or whatever it is. I still can't pronounce it right. But I do know I'm pronouncing it wrong. When I was a kid, I couldn't pronounce third. I always pronounce it as turd. Chiropractor. I thought it was she. Ropractor. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And, yes, the English word, and. Dachshund. Ennui. It's pronounced ennui. Goddamn. Not like how we say innuendo. Sirloin. Salmon. Still say salmon because salmon sounds weird to me. Cavalry. Growing up Christian, I just assumed it was Calvary. It wasn't until hundreds of hours of Age of Empires later that I did a double take on it like, huh? Ca Val Rai. That sounds weird. Hyperbole. I always thought it was pronounced hyperbole.